colleges or institutions. PWIs are historically white, predominantly white colleges and institutions.
I believe that HBCUs was founded for several reasons. I mean, the most obvious reason was to promote higher education for African Americans, which is needed. You know, during times of slavery, the only way to keep our culture down was to rob us of our education. And I believe that a lot of, plantation owners, slave owners, knew that African Americans were naturally gifted individuals that were just able to grasp onto any concept, whether it was labor, whether it was reading, writing, so they kept it from
us. HBCUs were started because of because of the whole Reconstruction era for after slavery. After slavery, even though black people were no longer considered slaves, they still couldn't get an education because nobody would admit them into their college. HBCUs were started so that they can get a skill so that they can go off and make a life for themselves.
HBCUs were created as a way to educate African Americans during a time when they weren't even allowed into your predominantly white institutions. Because of race, we weren't allowed to go to places like Harvard or UNC Chapel Hill or even NC State. And so these schools were created as a way to give us the tools we need to become successful people and give us the education that we deserve.
I wouldn't go to an HBCU because of this, and this, or, they have bad reputation for being party schools. So the PWIs, and I've partied with people at PWIs. I've ran and competed against people at PWIs, and they're just as wild as we are. It's just that the rap is put on HBCUs because it's predominantly black, and racism still exists in America, period. So, of course, anything bad is going to go closer to the African American community more so than the whites or the Europeans and Caucasians, however you want to put it.
What's that place called Fayetteville State? I think they got a criminology program, like the whole thing. I think that's an HBCU. Yeah. So that's why they go.
So you didn't go to the school that had the better program because it was an HBCU? Mm-hmm.
Strictly chose an HBCU because being recruited by various schools, predominantly white HBCUs, it really didn't matter to me. Well, it did matter to me, but what really stood out was that my coach here at A&T was more worried about me graduating more so than just being
From what I've experienced with my sister going to a PWI and my mother going to a PWI, there's a difference between family life and the importance of it in the university. I've learned here at my HBCU that you'll never forget what you learned here. You'll never forget where you came from. At HBCUs, it's a very strong sense of pride, not only because of a sports team or because of the organization that you're in, but just simply because you are a part of the HBCU. It's just something that will follow you for the rest of your life, including helping you network. There's a lot of alumni. We have a very strong alumni base. And also just like a sort of family reunion type setting. And I feel like going to an HBCU, you get to have that. I don't know if you had that at PWI, like I said, because I haven't attended one, but I will say I enjoy the sense of family that I get from an HBCU, and it's something that I think I'll never forget.
attending an HBCU is that the opportunities given to me here aren't based on my skin color. They're based solely on my intellect. At a PWI, I feel as though I would be in competition with others, not just because of what's in my brain, but also because of my skin color.
I chose to go to an HBCU because going to an HBCU, you don't ever have to worry about being a minority and being overlooked versus going to a PWI. I'm not for certain that you'll ever be overlooked at a PWI, but I know here at A&T or any other HBCU, the color of your skin or who you are never matters. And I love the history behind every HBCU in America, so I thought I knew for sure I was going to go to an HBCU.
For me personally, I know that attending PWI, I wouldn't have possessed the art of scavenging. I believe that at HBCU we're not given anything, nothing is handed to us, which is an essential skill that you need in life when you can make something out of nothing. Because we are sometimes limited on resources, we have to scavenge. We have to, go out and seek for information, and it's not handed or given to us by anyone.
Because I have not attended a predominantly white institution, I can't compare a predominantly white institution to my HBCU, but I can remember going to a predominantly white high school, and I remember trying to get scholarships, trying to have opportunities just to do more. It was an issue just because I was black. I felt like I had to fight harder because I was black to get the same opportunities. For example, there were scholarships that were distributed that were only presented to certain students, and those certain students were white. And when I went to the office to go find out, maybe I want to be a part of the scholarship, they would give it to me, but it was just like, I would have to go searching to find it. And I feel like because I go to a HBCU, I'm on a level plane with everybody that's here, because we don't come all from the same place, but we're all the same person. And I feel like here at the HBCU, I have the opportunity to be who I want to be besides of what color I am.
HBCUs are still relevant today because they still do what they were originally supposed to do, and that's find a way for African Americans in this country when a lot of us, I guess, are quote unquote cast to the side. HBCUs, they graduate more black people than most white schools do. And I know a lot of other white schools are like, well, whatever, we graduate more people. But in terms of African Americans, you can't compare the value that HBCUs give to black people. Just think if minorities weren't given the opportunity to graduate, think of the chaos that it would cause for a country. So, and the people that we graduate to end up going off and doing great things. So HBCUs today are still very relevant in our society.
Trey McCaskill, and I love my
My name
HBCU.
is Brittany Riggins, and I love my HBCU.
My name is LaQuaya Yarbrough, and I love my HBCU.
My name is Reginald Johnson, and I love my HBCU.
My name is Tracy Ann Durandis, and I love my HBCU.
My name is Dimitri Boutry, and I love my HBCU.
My name is Amanda Rhoda, and I love my HBCU.